Welcome back to the deep dive. We have got a really fascinating one for you today.
Yeah, we do. This one it's pretty special.
It is. I want to start by asking you to just think about the people in your life for a second. We all know the loud ones, right?
Oh, absolutely. The high visibility
Right, the
personalities.
friends who are the life of the party,
Yeah.
or the colleagues who just totally dominate the Zoom meetings. The people whose love language is basically, you know, fireworks.
Hard to miss those types.
Exactly. But today, we are flipping the script completely. I want to talk about the opposite end of that spectrum.
The quiet ones.
The quiet ones. The people who express love not by shouting, but just by staying. The ones who might not say a single word during a chaotic crisis, but they are the ones handing you a cup of water before you even realize you're thirsty.
They are simply there.
Right? And that is exactly who we are profiling today. We are looking at a specific personality code from the Max Energy ME80 personality system.
Which is such a powerful framework.
It really is. And honestly, reading through this report, it felt less like a standard personality test and more like a tribute to the unsung heroes of our lives.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Today, we are unpacking the profile known as the FFSU.
Also known by a very poetic and frankly beautiful title, The Hidden Tender.
The hidden tender. I just love that. It sounds like a secret garden or something.
It really captures their essence.
So our mission today is to do a full 360 on this profile. We are going to break down exactly how their energy works, why they are the way they are, and we're going to look at everything from their hidden struggles to why they might be the absolute most valuable employee you could ever hire.
And we're going to do it using the ME80 framework, which is distinct because it's not just about static traits, it's about energy flow.
Right. So let's start right there. For anyone new to the deep dive, can you give us the quick pitch on what the Max Energy ME80 system actually is?
Sure. So unlike traditional personality tests that might just put you in a box like, saying you're an introvert and leaving it at that, the ME80 system analyzes the actual mechanics of your energy.
The mechanics.
Yeah, it looks at the flow. How do you initiate action? How do you process emotional data? How do you calculate your decisions? And finally, how do you manifest all of that to the outside world?
Okay, so it's like an X-ray of your personality.
Exactly. It gives us a four-letter code, in this case, FFSU, that acts like a blueprint for your internal wiring.
So let's look at the blueprint for the FFSU. The report opens with an identity definition, a core declaration that really sets the tone.
It does.
It describes them as, quote, hiding deep affection inside silence, staying where presence matters most.
That is the identity anchor right there. You have to understand, for an FFSU, their definition of connection is fundamentally different from the mainstream.
How so?
Well, we live in a world that equates caring with intensity. Drama, loud declarations, big gestures. But the FFSU operates on a philosophy of quiet attendance.
Quiet attendance. Unpack that for me. Because to a lot of people, silence just looks like indifference.
And that's the tragedy of it, really. It's so deeply misunderstood. For the hidden tender, silence isn't an absence of feeling. It is a container for it.
Wow, a container.
Yeah. Their control mechanism, the way they navigate and manage their world, is based on this idea of a global vision and a unique philosophy of control.
Global vision. That sounds very strategic.
It is. When we say global vision, we mean they see the entire emotional ecosystem around them. They aren't just looking at the one person yelling. They see how the yelling affects everyone in the room.
Oh, I see.
And their philosophy of control isn't about micromanaging people. True power and control for them are about continuity. It's about stabilizing the environment by remaining in place when everyone else has lost their minds or lost interest.
So while everyone else is trying to be the star of the movie, the FFSU is content to just be the screen that the movie's projected on.
Or the foundation of the theater itself. They don't demand the spotlight to control the room. They prove they care, and they maintain the space through time, memory, and just being reliable.
I really like that. It's reliability as a love language. So let's get under the hood. The report breaks down the energy matrix. If we were looking at their chart, what are we seeing?
Visually, if you look at the radar chart in the report, the energy leans heavily inward.
Inward.
It's a very grounded shape. The axis of bearing and stability is incredibly dominant. They aren't projecting energy out at you. They are holding space.
So to understand how they hold that space, we need to go through the 4 layers of the ME80 system. Let's start with the first layer, the IP, or inner value layer.
Right. The IP layer is all about initiation. How does the engine start? For the FFSU, the energy drives initiation completely internally.
So they are true self-starters.
Absolutely. And this is a massive point because people often mistake quiet for passive.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
But the FFSU is not passive at all. Their motivation comes from a deep internal value system. They don't need a boss breathing down their neck to get to work. They don't need a cheerleader. They have an internal engine that just goes.
Okay, so the engine's running internally. Now let's look at the second layer. And this is the one where I got a bit tripped up when I was reading, so I need you to help me out.
Sure. Which one?
The IQ layer, the emotional activation layer.
Ah, yes. The IQ layer.
Usually when we think of steady, quiet people, we think they're slow processors. They need time to mull things over. But the report says the exact opposite.
It does, and this is the great secret of the hidden tender. Their IQ layer, which measures intuition and the speed of their judgment, is actually exceptionally fast.
So they aren't slow at all.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah.
Their internal processing is lightning fast. They walk into a room and pick up on the emotional temperature immediately.
Like a radar.
Exactly. They know who is lying. They know who is upset. They spot the risks instantly. Their intuition is a high-speed scanner.
But wait, if they are processing everything so incredibly fast, why do they seem so calm and slow to react on the outside?
And that brings us perfectly to the third layer, the EQ, or decision calculation layer.
Ah, the brakes.
Exactly, the brakes.
Yeah.
This layer is ruled by emotional containment. This is their superpower, but it's also their heaviest burden.
How does that work in practice?
They take all that fast, intuitive data from the IQ layer, and instead of just blurting it out or reacting, they hit the containment button. They filter it through a mechanism of stability.
So the internal monologue is like, I see exactly what's going wrong here, but if I call it out right now, it's going to cause a massive scene, so I'm going to hold it in to keep the peace.
Precisely. They value stability over expression. They calculate that the cost of rocking the boat is just too high. So that slowness you think you're seeing, that's not them being slow. That is the active, intense effort of them holding back a flood of insight to protect the environment.
That sounds remarkably disciplined and honestly exhausting.
It is heavy lifting, which leads us to the fourth layer, the manifestation layer. This is how the energy actually shows up in the world.
The report uses 3 specific keywords here: carrying, absorbing, and integrating.
Yes. Their energy operates inward. They are literally designed to carry the load. They absorb the stress of the team or the family, and they integrate it, meaning they process it internally so no one else has to deal with it.
They're basically human shock absorbers.
That is the perfect analogy. Think about it. You don't notice shock absorbers when the road is smooth.
No, you don't.
You only notice them when you hit a massive pothole and your car doesn't fall apart. The FFSU smooths out the ride for everyone else.
So synthesizing this energy matrix, we have a self-starting drive in the IT layer, lightning-fast intuition in the IQ layer, intense emotional containment in the EQ layer, and they manifest by absorbing the impact internally.
You got it completely. It's a complex mechanism designed for one thing: long-term stability.
Which segues perfectly into their inner traits. The report dives deep into this idea of the long-term factor. Why is this profile so good at the long game?
Because they aren't addicted to the dopamine hit of novelty. A lot of personality types are sprinters. They love the launch of a new project, the excitement of a first date, the drama.
A new toy syndrome.
Exactly. But the FFSU, they are marathon runners. They excel at what the report calls the seemingly ordinary days.
Seemingly ordinary days. I actually highlighted that phrase. It's so poignant.
It really is, because 90% of life is ordinary. It's Tuesday afternoon, it's doing the laundry, it's maintaining the company database. The FFSU finds deep meaning in that continuity.
So they're the ones who remember your coffee order from 3 years ago.
Right. And not to show off their memory, but because remembering that detail is how they honor the relationship. They maintain feelings silently over years and years.
It's like they are the foundation of a house. You walk in, you admire the fresh paint, the big windows. Those are the loud personalities.
The visible parts.
But the foundation is underground. It's in the dark, holding the entire thing up.
And if that foundation cracks, whole house comes down. They support the structure from a place where they aren't easily seen.
But here is the catch, and we really have to talk about this because it's serious. You can't just be a shock absorber forever without wearing out.
No, you can't.
The report calls this their shadow blind spot.
Yes. For the FFSU, the shadow is inner emotion withdrawal.
What does that actually look like in real life?
Well, go back to that EQ containment layer. Because they are so incredibly good at holding feelings inward, they routinely overlook their own needs.
Because they're busy absorbing everyone else's.
Exactly. Their logic is always, I want to maintain stability, If I complain, I create instability, so I will just absorb this disappointment. I'll just swallow this grievance.
They don't want to be a bother to anyone?
Right. They suppress it. But the report uses a very specific, dangerous term for the result of this: internal attrition.
Internal attrition.
They're wearing themselves down from the inside out. It's like a slow leak in a tire. You don't notice it until suddenly you're driving on the rim.
And this leads to what the report warns about, a specific outcome called the sudden break. This part actually sounded scary to me.
It is the classic scenario where a partner or a boss is just completely blindsided. The FFSU has been absorbing and absorbing, smiling and nodding, until one day the limit is reached.
The reservoir overflows.
Yes. And because they don't do drama, they don't pick a massive fight, they just leave.
They just walk away.
They quit the job with zero notice. They end a 10-year friendship overnight. They pack up and leave a marriage.
Wow.
In their mind, they have been dealing with it and giving you 1,000 chances for years, even if they never actually said the words out loud. But to the other person, it feels like it happened entirely out of the blue.
That is tragic. It's just a complete communication breakdown.
It is. So if you are listening to this and you identify with this profile, the crucial lesson here is that you have to open the pressure valve sometimes. You have to speak up before you burn out.
And if you love an FFSU, you cannot rely on their silence as a sign that everything is fine. You have to ask them. You have to actively check in.
You have to check the foundation.
Okay, let's shift gears to how this plays out socially. The report describes their social relationships and interaction style as low-key reliability.
Yes. Think about how others perceive them. They are usually described as gentle, courteous, reassuring.
Easy to get along with.
Very easy to interact with because they don't have sharp edges. They adapt themselves to fit around you.
But there's a trap here, isn't there? The report calls it the invisible distance.
This is a really profound concept in the ME80 system because the FFSU creates what they call no presence, meaning they deliberately don't take up a lot of space. People end up taking them for granted. The interaction feels completely frictionless.
Frictionless sounds like a good thing, though.
It's good for the other person. It's very comfortable. But because there is no friction, there is no grab. We slide right past them. We start to treat them like a utility.
Like a utility.
Yeah, like the Wi-Fi or the electricity. You don't walk into your living room and say, "Thank you, electricity, for working today."
Right?
You only notice the electricity when the lights go out.
Wow. We treat people like utilities. That is a really harsh reality check.
It creates a distance where we don't actually know them at all. We just know the service they provide us. The challenge is to bridge that gap, to see the actual person behind the support they give.
Let's talk about where they shine professionally, because I'm guessing the hidden tender is not the person you hired to be the hype man at a product launch.
Probably not the best fit, no. But commercially, their value is astronomical. The report highlights that they are best suited for roles requiring patience and stability.
So what specific recommended career fields are we talking about here?
Think long-term operations. Think logistics. Maintenance and back-end support systems. The absolute backbone of an organization.
The people who keep the ship running while the captain is up on deck taking selfies.
Exactly. They excel in these areas because they have that caring energy we talked about. They can handle the daily grind, the spreadsheets, the inventory tracking, the compliance checks, without getting bored or needing constant validation from the boss.
They provide the consistency that businesses literally die without. The report also mentioned something specific about team size that I thought was super interesting.
Yes, this is crucial for any managers listening. The FFSU excels in small teams or deep collaboration environments.
Why small teams specifically?
Because in a massive, noisy corporate structure, the FFSU will get completely drowned out. They won't self-promote, they won't brag on LinkedIn, so they get overlooked for promotions.
But in a small team.
In a small, tight-knit team, they become the absolute linchpin. Trust is the currency there. People quickly realize, wait, Jane is the only one who actually knows how the legacy server works. Or Mike is the only one who remembers the client's specific dietary constraints from 2 years ago.
So they are the ones you entrust with the vital long-term matters. They aren't the ones who jump ship the minute things get tough or boring.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In a big economy where everyone is leaving for a new job every 18 months, the FFSU's loyalty and stability is a massive competitive advantage. If you treat them right, they stay.
So we've covered the energy layers, the shadow blind spot, the social dynamics, the career value. I want to try and summarize the core takeaway of the FFSU. What is the ultimate message here?
I think the FFSU challenges our modern definition of power. We are taught that power is visibility, it's influence, it's being loud. But the hidden tender teaches us that true power is never leaving the scene.
The report connects this to a concept called Dewey in the conclusion. Can you explain that briefly?
Yes, in the systems philosophy, Dewey is associated with the symbol of the lake.
Yeah.
Think about a deep lake. On the surface, it looks very calm, completely still. It just reflects the sky.
Right.
But underneath, it's a massive, deep, gathered body of water. It is a reservoir.
A reservoir of feeling.
Exactly. They collect the water, the emotions, the history, the connections, and they hold it securely. That reservoir provides life and stability for the entire ecosystem around it.
That is a beautiful image. And there is a golden sentence in the report that I think we should leave our listeners with today. It perfectly sums up the mission of the hidden tender.
It's the key to the whole profile. It goes like this. When their contributions are treasured rather than taken for granted, this quiet, affectionate attendance becomes sustainable strength for both others and themselves.
Sustainable strength, that is the ultimate goal. But notice the condition there, when their contributions are treasured.
That's on us. That's our job. If we take it for granted, it vanishes. If we treasure it, it becomes an unshakable foundation.
We have a responsibility to make the invisible visible.
I really do.
Well, before we sign off, I want to make sure everyone knows exactly where this deep dive came from today. This wasn't just us philosophizing. This is based on the Max Energy ME80 Personality Assessment Report.
It's an incredibly robust system. We only scratched the surface of one single profile today.
Yeah.
But the way it maps energy flow from IP to IQ to EQ to manifestation is really unique compared to standard tests.
Absolutely. And if you're listening to this and thinking, wait, is that me? Or maybe, is my super quiet husband actually a high-speed intuitive processor? You can find out for sure.
You can visit their official website at www.maxenergylife.com.
Or if you want to join the discussion and see the community on social media, you can search on Facebook. What are the search terms again?
You can search on Facebook for Max Energy Ocean, or you can search for Med and Energy OSHA. There is a lot of great info there.
It's definitely worth checking out to understand the wiring of the people around you. So here's my final thought, my challenge to you for the rest of the day. Look around for the hidden tenders in your life, the quiet ones, the steady ones, the ones who are just always there.
Go to them and tell them you actually see them.
Tell them, I see what you're doing and I appreciate you. What if the quietest person in your life is actually the one holding your entire world together?
A little appreciation might save them from that internal attrition we talked about. Treasure the silence.
Exactly. Thanks for listening to this deep dive. Stay curious, treasure your quiet friends, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.